Matt Cause is still on vacation, so Justin Dunk back with you to help you with your fantasy lineup for week 15 in the CFL. Now, I hope you listened to me last week and started Darrell Walker, because my oh my, what a game he had. He was the highest scoring non-quarterback and was the third highest scoring player overall in fantasy last week. He had a big game, 121 yards, a touchdown, and a 2-point convert. He was my value play last week, so we'll hope to strike gold once again this week with our week 15 picks. So let's get to it. We'll start with injuries first that could impact your fantasy lineup. Andrew Harris went down with an apparent rib injury in week 14. I would avoid him in week 15 because it's probably pretty dicey that he plays, and if he does, man, you can't rely on him with that rib injury. Now, Zach Collaros obviously out for the season with an ACL injury, so Jeff Matthews gets his first career CFL start, so take a wait-and-see approach with him, but he will get a pass target back in the lineup. Bakari Grant, who seemed to be out with a week-to-week foot injury for a while, is said to be back in the Ticats lineup this week, so feel free to play him if you're the risky type in fantasy. Now, on to the lineup that I recommend this week. At quarterback, I'm going with Kevin Glenn. He's thrown for over 600 yards in 2 starts this season against BC, and he's in the nice, comfy confines of BC Place inside the dome. I really like Kevin Glenn at quarterback this week. Then at running back, I'm going with Jeremiah Johnson. He burst onto the scene with 7 touchdowns in 3 games when he got the starting role. He has 8 to lead the league, but he hasn't scored in his last 2 games. I think he's due. Get Johnson in your lineup. Now at receiver, not much needs to be said here. Go with Eric Rogers. The guy is so consistent, always a threat to get in the end zone, and most of the time he's close to, if not over, 100 yards receiving. For my flex position this week, I'm going with the Manny Show. Emmanuel Arsenault, yes, he has a rookie quarterback throwing him the football in Jonathan Jennings, but in his last 2 games where Jennings started and played a lot previously, Manny had 95 and 94 receiving yards in those games, and he was close to a touchdown in both of those, so I like Arsenault in the flex position. Next up, my kicker, Paul McCallum, gets to kick in the nice, comfy confines of BC Place, and I think he'll have a lot of chances to put the football through the uprights for the Riders in BC. Then, for my defense, I'm going with the Edmonton Eskimos. Why? Matt Nichols had a streak of 5 straight games with at least 1 interception. He snapped that streak last week, but I think he's prone to turnovers, and this Eskimos defense can really crank up the pressure on opposing quarterbacks. I like Edmonton to put up a lot of defensive points in the peg. Then, lastly, my value play. This is where Darrell Walker hit so well last week. This week, I'm going to Hamilton and choosing Terrell Sinkfield. He's used in a lot of ways there for the Ticats as a focal point in that offense. Yes, he will have a quarterback making his first career start, throwing him the football, but Sinkfield gets a lot of end arounds, gets some fly sweeps, and I think he'll be targeted in that mid-range passing game, and he's a guy who can get you a lot of yak yards and turn a short gain into a long one, so he's my value play of the week. That's my fantasy lineup for week 15, but we want to hear about yours. Get at us at CFL, or you can get me at JDunk12. Let us know who your best value play of the week is, or who you think will be the highest scoring player in week 15. It should be a good one. A bonus pick for you. Looking forward to week 16 because we have a Tuesday game in the CFL. Toronto travels to the nation's capital to take on Ottawa